What's up, everybody? So you're thinking about moving to Florence, Oregon. Well, in this video, we're going to go over the pros and cons of living in Florence, Oregon, and we're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living on the coast in Florence, then hit the subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market on the coast and in Florence. My name is Eddie, and I get calls, emails, texts all the time for people just like you who are scanning the Oregon coast, who are looking into places like Florence or other places on the Oregon coast, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 7 days or 7 months, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, maybe jump on a Zoom with me, and we can discuss all of your goals and plans moving forward, because I'd love to make it a smooth move for you. Well, we are going to get after it right now, pros and cons, and here we go. So you want to know about Florence. You probably have already been looking into it. Where is it? Well, first of all, it's on the Central Oregon coast, almost to the southern part of the Central Oregon coast, definitely, but it is on the Central Oregon coast. It is directly west from Eugene, Oregon, where the University of Oregon is located. It's about an hour drive west from Eugene. It's about 2 hours from Salem, the state capital of Oregon, 3.5 hours from Portland. Florence is beautifully situated just south of Heceta Head and the Heceta Head Lighthouse, and just north of Coos Bay and Reedsport. It's your perfect happy medium between the northern coast and the southern coast. It kind of matches up with Newport, just north of it, about 50 miles. So location wise, like I said, it's about an hour from Eugene, roughly 61 miles. Add another 8 miles and it's about 70 miles from Springfield. It's 49 miles from Newport and it's 59 miles from North Bend. Portland is just about 222 miles away. And Reedsport on the Umpqua River is just 22 miles south. So first thing I like to get into when I talk about pros and cons of the Oregon coastal cities is a pro and a con. Most of the time will be the weather. And this is no different when it comes to Florence, Oregon. Florence is right in the middle of that northern Oregon coast and that southern Oregon coast. It's getting roughly 160 days of sun and 160 days of rain every year. So there's another 45 days there that normally go to overcast. So it's not raining, but it's still gray and dreary. So when you're gonna think about the coast, is that a positive? Is it a negative? I don't know. You're gonna have to decide that. But definitely it's going to be right in that happy medium when you get about 120 to 125 days of sun in Astoria and 190 days of sun in the Bandon, Gold Beach, Brookings area. The banana belt of the Oregon coast is right there in the middle along with Newport. So it could be a positive, it could be a negative, but it's definitely going to get a lot of rain. Roughly about 80 inches of annual rainfall. The temperature ranges on average are between 47 and 61 degrees throughout the year. You're rarely going to see anything go below freezing, so maybe around 33, 34. You do get the occasional snow once every 3 or 4 years, maybe once every 2 or 3 years. It's probably once or twice a year get that weather where it's no wind, 70, 80 degrees. Another pro I would say is the affordability of Florence when it comes to housing. The median sales price in Florence in 2023 was $475,000, which isn't bad compared to all the other coastal cities that we look at. You're probably looking at something like $65,000 a year that you need to be able to buy a house and live in Florence. So affordability for housing is good, but cost of living is a little bit up from the national and state average. A couple other pros I would say before I get to the main ones are there's a casino in town. They have a good restaurant, they have a good hotel, they can sometimes have good entertainment. Another pro is that Florence has 2 golf courses, Sand Pines and Ocean Dunes. Both very capable golf courses that I'm sure that you'll love if you're a golfer. Another pro is how close it is to Eugene. Some coastal cities, especially in the southern Oregon coast, Brookings, Gold Beach, Port Orford, Bandon, Coos Bay, they're far from the major cities of the Willamette Valley. Eugene, Salem, Corvallis, Albany, Portland, and all of the other suburbs of Portland. It's just, they're far when you think about the southern Oregon coast. Eugene is an hour drive from Florence. So if you're an avid Ducks fan, maybe you want to go into the valley, go up to Portland and do something, it is easy to do it. We couldn't talk about Florence if we didn't talk about Oregon Dunes National Recreation Area. It covers 40 square miles miles and 32,000 acres of sand dunes for your recreational use. It stretches from Florence all the way down to North Bend. This is the largest expanse of sand dunes in all of North America, and it's famous among ATV and dune buggy riders worldwide. One of the last pros I'm going to talk about is just all the cool things there is to do in and around Florence, especially around. You've got natural beauty, you've got lakes inside the city limits of Florence. You've got Munsell Lake, Clear Lake, Mercer Lake, and more. You also have other nearby lakes just south of town as well. You have Honeyman State Park, where you can go enjoy the lake, you can go enjoy the dunes, you can go camping. You have Hasita Head Lighthouse, Sea Lion Caves, one of the most beautiful drives on the whole Oregon coast from Florence to Yachats, and there's so much more. But we'll end it there, and now we're going to go on to our list of cons, which isn't very much. Number one con, the weather. I know I said this in the pros because it is pro and con, but 160 days of rain a year and up to 30 to 40 days of overcast. It's a lot. There is gray, there is gray, there is gray. And you're going to need your hoodie and you're going to need your raincoat. Don't bring your umbrella because the wind's going to destroy that thing. But make sure that you're ready for the weather when you come to Florence. If you want more sun than 160 days a year, then you might want to look to the southern Oregon coast where you can get up to a month more. But if you're okay with all of that, Florence is definitely the place for you. One definite con of Florence is the crime. If you live in Florence, you have a 1 in 670 chance to be the victim of violent crime. But you do have a 1 in 36 chance to be the victim of property crime. And that's where most of the crime is coming from. Property crime, petty crime. Those things you're going to want to make sure that you lock your stuff up. You have cameras, you have lights on, and you lock your doors. Make sure all those things are taken care of. You probably don't have any issues. Maybe you have a dog, maybe you have a gate, maybe you have a fence. And the last thing is property taxes. When you think of the entire Oregon coast, Florence is going to be in Lane County. So when Lane County has a higher tax rate for on the Oregon coast, if you're living close to the ocean, you're going to have extremely high taxes. If you're going to live further from the ocean, those taxes will be down. They put different houses in different tax brackets based on, do you have an ocean view? Do you have a peekaboo view? Do you have a horizon view? Do you have a lake view? Do you have a bay view? Do you have a river view? Any of these things, you're going to get taxed at a higher rate, which is normal. But just be aware that when you move to Florence, it may have higher taxes. Well, that's going to do it for our list of pros and cons when it comes to Florence, Oregon. I've had so much fun going through this list with you. If you are thinking about moving to Florence, or you are somebody that needs help with any real estate goals that you have on the Oregon coast, maybe you need boots on the ground, don't hesitate to call me, text me, let's get into a Zoom call. You can email me, any of those things. Love to be in contact with you and help you. I'm super excited to hear from you. And let's just do this. Let's make today the best day ever.